So, welcome back, everybody. Hopefully, it'll stay up this time. So, let's kind of, I guess, go back to what we were talking about there.
What were we talking about? Poop in a box?
Poop in a box. Yes, that's what some rich person on a private island is going to be dropping with that airdrop box, apparently.
Yeah, it's Adam Clegg.
Adam Clegg. Specifically, it is Adam Clegg.
Is flying that airplane, just so you know.
Well, I guess if Adam Clegg's flying it, then I kind of want to track where it's going, because I know it's going to crash at some point. Because, as we all know from Adam Clegg and his experience with PlanetSide 2, taking off with the Galaxy, he might be able to pull it off. Flying the Galaxy somewhere, if he's gotten it off the ground, he can do that. Landing the Galaxy, you're going to die. There's going to be crashing and burning. I'm hoping with H1Z1 there's going to be like chunks of the mesh that fly off in different places, just be burning scraps everywhere. Yeah, no, his idea of using a landing pad is coming in with a dropship at 45 kph. Yeah, that's how he tries to land.
Wow.
45 kph straight down, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, no, he's...
Clegg's not bad of a gamer. It's that other guy. I don't remember his name, but he is horrible.
Which one?
What is that other guy? He's like the older looking dude.
He
shaved his head. He shaved his head. God, what
the
was his
producer?
name? Yeah.
Steve George?
I think it was Steve George. Now he's a horrible gamer.
Oh.
He's a horrible player compared to Adam. So
that could be true. Anyway,
he'll get me back later. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, no, he'll get it. He'll get us all back. I'm sure Clegg's got his list that he's building up with his revenge. I'm sure he's gonna want to try to sneak up on me and yell H1Z1 really loud in the microphone.
I'll be on Clegg's team, so it's all good.
Yeah.
I got your back, man.
Yeah, as a horrible NC soldier, I was just killing him everywhere when I saw him. But here, yeah, I could see myself teaming up with them. Of course, I think douchebag 69 is going to be kill on sight, so should be interesting to see how that goes. So the zombie AI is going to constantly improve. So right now, the most tactically relevant piece of terrain you can find is a waist-high metal rail, because you can pretty much kite an infinite-sized pile of zombies just by jumping from one side of it to the other. The AI is going to improve. We saw a little bit of some of the animations they're working on for zombies climbing and being able to step over things and make their way over terrain. So, yeah, they will eventually be able to turn that that metal rail into an irrelevant piece of terrain. They'll just crawl right over it. They'll make their way around it, or maybe half of them will, and half of them will just kind of stand there with their that kind of stupid look they have when they're bugged out. We'll see. We'll see. That'll be something that'll come with time. I'm sure they'll eventually have that sort of stuff. But one of the things they wanted to make absolutely clear is that zombies are not an afterthought in this game. They seem like an afterthought in some other games. They are not. Absolutely not an afterthought. They are a major consideration with H1Z1. Every action you take, you're considering players, you're considering wildlife, and you're considering zombies. And if you're not, you're probably gonna die.
Oh, the one thing was, you're gonna have to go out there. You're gonna have to chop trees, and I'm telling you, as soon as you put that hatchet to that tree, every zombie has just turned and looked at you.
Yeah, unless there's something making more.
And they start making their way to wherever that tree is, and if you're staying in the same spot very long, they will find you. I can guarantee you that.
It's one of those things where if you know there's a pack of deer just on the other side of the hill, you go to where you can kind of chop the tree down and not spook them, and then run over and spook them so that they'll attract all the zombies and be the things moving faster that are closer to them. Because, being able to use nature as a way to kind of disperse the herd, kind of an interesting feature. I really like it.
I like
Yeah,
what.
that sounds.
Go ahead.
DK.
That sounds cool. That sounds cool. I didn't even think of that now, but the same way you do when you send you go bird hunting, send dogs out to get the birds up, to flock the birds up. You're basically doing that with zombies. Send a boar, slap a boar, and have it running across the field. You know how much noise they make?
Yes.
It's going to attract everything. It's like an alarm going through the forest.
That's awesome.
I like the idea that Lawless just said. We need a big city. We do in that game. We need a big city.
Oh, there's going to be many big cities, I'm sure.
Skyscrapers that you can literally get up into.
Well, it's
Manhattan big.
Maybe they'll eventually expand to that size. They said. Maybe he's kind of saying, shooting for the stars. But Jimmy Wisenhunt said they would love it if the H1Z1 map, by the end of things, years down the road, is the size of the United States. Now, I know it's not going to be that big. That's just phenomenal scale to try to pull off. Even if they start allowing play, they could do it, but actually populating all of that space would be kind of an interesting challenge. Though there are a lot of maps and stuff that exist that they'd be able to just potentially plug straight in and fill in the geography plus or minus with a little tweaking.
Populating shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
And like I said, if we were doing like we were talking about earlier, it was, if you died, I think it was the conversation me and Cody had. If I die, you take 1/3 of the time that I was alive, and that's how long I have to spend as a zombie.
That would be fun.
Yep. So literally, is if you stayed, 1 day long alive in the game, you have to spend 6 hours.
8 hours, yeah.
As a zombie, and if you last the whole entire time, you get all your inventory back.
That would be pretty interesting.
But if you die, you lose it all.
And it gets distributed. That would be a neat rule set to have. That'd be a lot of fun, because I know a lot of people would be interested in playing as the zombies and being the the smart one in the group or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could mix in with a whole pack of them or something, and just be a part of them, or you could be out there on your own, just running around PKing people. So, and the players that are running around normal, they can't tell the difference. You don't know if you just killed a player or not.
Yeah. And I think that's actually a pretty cool thing, because you also don't know if you're a zombie, what other zombies are actually players near you and who's actually acting intelligently. Spanky, I think they are going to have some pretty tall buildings. The apartments are already fairly tall compared to a lot of the other things we've seen. So, taller stuff is definitely something that we'll be seeing at some point. Nisco 3000, we were quoted August 47th. Kid you not, August 47th. It is in the keynote. If you don't believe me, go watch it. If you don't believe that that's the date, you're probably right. I doubt that's actually the date. I have a feeling it's not going to be the 47th, maybe the 48th or the 49th, but yeah. You'd use an algorithm to automatically place pre-built buildings. It would be, I think that's the sort of thing they would have to do to be able to increase the scale of the world, or the game world, to that level, but let them build up to that sort of stuff.
Are we spinning again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're back.
All right.
We're good.
It's definitely, I would say, that the Twitch servers are struggling right now, so that's fine. Kremchek, I'm not going to waste ice and water. If I was going to donate to ALS, I'd just donate to ALS. But anyway, let's continue along here. So,
Wow.
let's see.
He wants to play as a wolf or a bear.
I think that'd be a lot of fun too. Once again, that'd be a great rule set sort of thing.
We're going to be coming up with so many ideas for the different servers.
Yeah. Now, one of the things they've said, not necessarily for player progression, but just for gameplay progression, what's going to, the game itself advancing over time and getting more complex and interesting, is that they're going to be adding new things we can do with the items that already exist, adding more recipes and different things. That's going to be really, really cool, because that's where we're going to get to learn, or I guess kind of relearn what all of our stuff is used for. You'll have to go back through every now and then and redo the research on everything to make sure that you know all the stuff that you can make with it. Every update, I'm sure people are just going to be scrambling for their community pile of materials, trying to learn everything and figure out all the new stuff that's been added.
At this point, I don't think we do their spank.
Wood buildings will hold up against wood axes and firearms. Right now, in the current state, it takes about 3 or 4 chops to take down a fence, a wooden fence, but a full-on building, probably a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So, on that subject of the game kind of increasing and progressing with the addition of new items or new ways to use the items, that's a pretty nice feature. What do you guys think about that? Is that something you're really excited for, or are you like kind of upset about that and would rather things only be used for the things that they're initially introduced for?
I
You go
really
ahead,
have
Tim.
multiple use. I really have multiple uses. I mean, don't make me have something that's stereotyped. I want something that, okay, this is a pen. I can write with it, but that shouldn't be its only use. I should be able to take that, nail it into the end of a stick, and I use it as a freaking arrow or something. I don't know.
Well, I was thinking about like a fireman's
Bad
axe.
example. It was a bad
Fireman's
example.
axe.
Sorry.
Firemen don't just use a fireman's axe as an axe. It has multiple tools. It's you can use it to break open bars. You can use it like a like a crowbar. Thank you. There's so there's multiple things you can think of. I mean, a 2x4 doesn't have to be just for building. 2x4 is a great weapon.
Yeah.
You throw some nails in it. There's an even better weapon.
Yep.
So you should be able to do this with a lot of things. I mean, a bus. A bus doesn't have to just be a transportation. What if you wanted to be a mobile doctor's office? Why
Right.
not? Toss a few seats out and there you go. I can see that you being able to, you can take that very far. The amount of things you can use things for.
Right.
I mean, during Vietnam, all the soldiers figured out that the helicopters weren't bulletproof on the bottom, so they took their helmets off and then sat on them because they would protect their ass.
Yeah.
There you go, right there. I mean, that's not, you don't usually think someone putting a helmet on their ass, but it works.
When you need to, you do it.
In World War II, they used the helmets for containers, and they also cooked out of their helmets too. So
That's gross. That's so gross.
why?
Sweaty beef stew.
Because I don't imagine you've got a sink out there or whatever to fucking clean all the bits and stuff off, so you're going back into combat with a helmet that smells like last night's dinner. I don't know.
That tasted dandy last night. Yeah, but that's what they used their K. Well, it was called a K-pot. and they would take the sucker off, and there was an inside liner that pulled out of it. It was made out of like almost like a fiberglass type stuff, and then you had like a wrap that went over the outside of it. They'd take that K-pot, they stick it upside down, and they cook on the darn thing. It wouldn't stop a bullet. It wouldn't stop a bullet, so they used it, So
Fair enough.
There's a good question here in chat. I did hear from somewhere that we would be able to tell when somebody's infected with the virus over a regular player, but they never. Did you guys hear anything of what differences we'll be able to tell?
I couldn't really see any major difference when I got level 1. I'm sure the
other than the moaning.
Yeah, and the little indicator in the lower right of the HUD saying what level of infection I was at.
Did you see any other players that looked infected?
No, I didn't see any other players at all.
When I was playing, there was only 2 of us on the whole entire server in the whole entire world.
Yep, because I don't think it was patched in with the SOE servers, or if it was, there just wasn't anybody on most of the time.
Huh.
So, because a lot of the team was there.
It was just me and Sog, and he was on the other side of the planet. So I tried to find him. I wanted to give him a gift.
Oh, I bet. So, walkie-talkies. They talked about wanting walkie-talkies in the game, and
Sorry.
the idea, though, is that you're still going to be talking into them. People in the area can still hear you. So, as Clegg was saying, his idea is listen in on somebody else's conversation, and when they go say, oh, let me go look for such and such supplies, that's when he goes to sneak in and bash the person in the head. So walkie-talkies is kind of, I want to say a two-way street, but it's even more than that. It's the way to communicate with people, but you also kind of reveal your position in the process. And the other disadvantage, if somebody else has a walkie-talkie that's tuned to your channel, they can listen in on your conversation and sneak up on you that way.
I don't see where it's a disadvantage.
Well, it's a disadvantage if you don't want someone else to.
Hey, I'm going to
sneak your
go
stuff.
right, and your guys know that if you say, "Hey, I'm going to go right," it means, "Hey, I'm going to go left." I mean,
Yeah.
if you have code words with your crew or whatever, that walkie-talkie can screw up whoever's listening to
That's
it
true.
more than what you think it does.
That is very true. That is very true. Now, I don't know if it's going to be like a primary, secondary, tertiary slot item to actually use the walkie-talkie, or if it's something that you'll be able to use with other things with limited functionality. Or really how that's going to work. It seems like it would be something that you actually put in your hand and have to, hold the button down to use it or whatever.
Unless you fashion yourself some kind of weird clip for your shirt.
Yeah. Well, there might also be more advanced ones. I'm sure there'd also be different ranges and qualities. Like, if you get the the pink Barbie walkie-talkie or whatever, it's only got a 10-meter range at most. But if you get a nice fancy military walkie-talkie, I don't know what the range on those are, but I'd imagine it's pretty far.
It's about 30 miles now.
It's pretty substantial.
I will say it'll be worthless anyway because most of the bigger groups are going to be in TeamSpeak anyway.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. And they're trying to push the use in-game chat sort of angle, and I don't know what they can or would or be willing to do to try to limit the ability to use TeamSpeak and stuff like that. If I'm not mistaken, Steam has stuff built in for Counter-Strike to make sure that you're not sharing information with another team, and it's actually looking at some of the processes that you're using on your computer. I'm not 100% certain about that, but
if you want to kill that game very fast, do that. I can already tell you. It won't fly with the PC community.
That's
it just
true.
Won't.
That's true.
And I mean, I've seen other games try to do stuff like that. Monitor what other applications are being run when the games are being running, and it'll kill a game quick.
Cody, you know what? At that point, Cody, you might as well just put the walkie-talkie next to a landmine.
I didn't think of that either.
But
Yeah.
I mean, the way I'm kind of looking at it is like this. The PC gamers are going to have the advantage over that because 9 times out of 10, whatever gets shipped to PS4, they're going to be using whatever's in the game, which is going to be the walkie-talkies, the open mic stuff that they have in the game. They're going to be using that. Where all the PC gamers are going to be running around with the PS4 guys and just beating the shit out of them.
Yeah. Well, I know there's still going to be a lot of players that use in-game voice just to be able to communicate with random people, and I can definitely see there being groups using voice communication just to create noise if they want to. Just a bunch of people open mic playing Rick James or something, and trying to summon that horde.
Hey, I'm Rick James. It won't be the original Rick James. It'll have to be the what's his name's version
The
of
Dave
it.
Chappelle version,
Yeah,
yes.
Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle's version.
For sure. So you don't lose cosmetics that you've purchased. If anybody doesn't already know, you don't lose cosmetics, and if you kill somebody and take their cosmetic items, you get one that has diminished durability. There might be ways to restore the durability. They're thinking about it. And the next time somebody dies with it, it has even further diminished durability. So eventually, an item will lose enough durability that it'll just be unusable and unlootable. So that's kind of the angle with the cosmetics. You can kill somebody that has a bunny hat, but you're only, and they said bunny hat in particular, so I bet there is going to be a bunny hat. If you kill the person with the bunny hat, you get the bunny hat. But it's going to be in a damaged state, and if someone kills you, they get the bunny hat, but it's going to be further damaged. So, but then the other thing is skins of things, like versions of an item that you can only get by being the person who has the cosmetic and crafts it. So the Morning Wood nail bat, and this is going back to earlier in the episode, we were talking about MOURNING, the Morning Wood nail bat. That's a version of the nail bat with a specific skin that was only available with the SOE Digital Pass for SOE Live 2014. So I got it because hell yeah, I want Morning Wood. It's a neat looking model. It's kind of got some nails bent in it and some blood splatters on it. I'm sure the default version of the nail bat will probably look a little bit less awesome, just for the specific purpose of probably trying to sell the Morning Wood nail bats later on, or maybe have it just be an exclusive item. It's like, oh yeah, that guy's got Morning Wood. He's been playing this game forever.
Wow. Sounds so wrong.
Yeah. Well, it sounds so wrong, but damn it, they stuck with the name, and now it's a part of the game's history.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. I think it's pretty funny. Yeah. So we're not going to start with a map. No, not at all. There's various forms of maps we'll potentially be able to find, from a full size like Atlas or Thomas Guide, or just a little pamphlet from a gas station that kind of gives you just the local area a little bit.
But is it going to be something that once you find it, you keep it at persistent after death, or is it going to be something you're going to lose and then you have to refine it again?
That's been
That's what I'm wondering.
It's been a point of discussion. There was actually a long conversation about that on Reddit. I think back in February, I put the subject up and it was discussed for a little while. And I don't remember if there was really any consensus. It seemed like the people were split on, like, yes, you should keep it, no, you should keep it, it should be a server rule set. So I think that's one of those things that will be a server rule set. It seems like it'd almost be more of an easier type of thing rather than the default that they would go with, because you keep all of your recipes because they don't want you to have to look in a wiki to be able to play the game effectively. But at the same time, the map, it's kind of a relative thing. Having a map of what's going on 2 miles away doesn't really help if you're 2 miles away from that spot. So I think that they would want to make maps something that you find in the area, so when you find a map is relevant to that area.
It wouldn't be too bad. But you got to remember, if you get a map section for one part of the map, when you die, you may not be in that same area.
Right. And a lot of the landmarks can help you get from point A to point B, but it's it's still going to be a long way, and you might die along the way because there's bears and zombies and bandits out in the world, and all sorts of other lesser creatures.
Yep.
Did you see any ravens at all in the? I don't think I saw any myself.
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and watch the video again to find out.
I don't remember any either.
Oh well.
I'm pretty sure there will.
Yeah, I know we've seen working versions, or at least something that seems like working versions in some versions, and I can't remember in Smed's little playthrough that he was doing recently if there were any in that version either or not. But it's definitely something they've been working hard on getting in the game.
I don't think your chat window is keeping up to date.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, looks fine to me.
I see
Messages getting dropped.
Oh, I said hello.
Yeah. I've been hearing...
It feels so right. It feels so right. It's the last thing that I see up there.
Yeah, no, that was...
No, there's been correct stuff since.
Huh.
There's been... Yeah, I got a few things since.
Well, it's not just the streams that are cutting out then, it's chat too. So, yay, it's not me, it's them.
Maybe they started selling off some of their servers already.
No, it's quite the opposite actually. They've been building up. They want to do
right click that chat window and refresh and see if it'll reload it. Or is that a OBS import?
No, it's just my Twitch chat. They're ravens, they're not crows. Let me just wait for it to load up and I can switch it back to the proper color.
There we go.
There we go. Alright. Okie dokie. So, continuing along here. Talked about Morning Wood. Not going to start with the map. They've said there's the possibility that there will be server events, things that it's a new stream of 2 hours ago on Sony Shock Twitch channel. Oh wow, I'll have to go check that out. I thought they normally started things from 5:30 to 6:30. That's kind of why the new time here for the show. But I'll definitely have to check that out and check in with them and see what's going on with the schedule. 1 hour long. Oh, okay. We'll have to check that out afterward. Possible server events. So that could be like just a bunch of airdrops going, and yeah, a bunch of them are filled with zombies, or maybe an airplane, two airplanes collide or whatever, and the scramble for all the salvage and everything that comes from it, but at the same time having to fight through the forest fire or whatever that's going on, because everything's gotten lit on fire, and they said that's definitely something they want to be able to have as a feature. So I could see a lot of interesting server events. Another thing could be just basically a bandit army coming through, and everybody has to fight them off, or a bandit army that's actually all zombies because they got pwned or whatever. So they're a bunch of just heavily armored zombies that you take them down, you get good loot, but you still have to be able to take them down, and they're tough.
Well, they've already said that, if you run into like a pack of zombies, 9 times out of 10, they've got good stuff in there. They've already
Yeah.
said that on one of the streams, but you're gonna have to whittle until you get them all down. Take lots of friends.
Yes, bring friends for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
server.
Well, you think about it. If you come across a horde, most likely it's killed quite a few people and took in all their stuff, and then the zombies get added from their bodies. So if they killed a couple guys with Kevlar, then there's a couple of zombies in there with Kevlar. It's yeah, hordes are going to be the thing.
Yep.
Horde hunting.
Take lots of
It's-
guns.
It's definitely a more
Lots
advanced.
of guns.
Like someone was saying about boss mobs and that sort of stuff, and it's like, no, that's basically your boss mob right there. It is literally a mob of zombies. It is a horde of zombies. That is going to be the big challenge. You're going to get fat loot from it, but a lot of people are going to go getting killed, and it's going to be kind of brutal.
It's not what I said.
No, horde hunting, Zube. Horde hunting. You already in dude. You just got married in Vegas. Like, if you were gonna do that, you're already gonna get it out of your system.
Yeah, you do that in Vegas.
Before you get married, too.
Yes.
How good do you think SOE would be at stopping speeders and other cheaters? Well, they've already got a lot of tools. A lot of hacker groups or cheat building groups or whatever have already called it quits on PlanetSide 2 because, yeah, they can come up with a new cheat, but it's already been patched out within an hour or two. They've got really, really good with their processes there. So, yeah, people will cheat every now and then, and they might get away with it for a little bit, but it's something they're just going to be basically adding more to the the knowledge base of SOE and their ability to continue knocking those cheats down. And meanwhile, they'll, collect all the information they can on you and ban it all, so you won't be able to get back in.
Yeah, this is not going to be nothing like Rust or DayZ, because this is a AAA producer. First off, they have a lot of money, a lot of experience. Like you said, PlanetSide 2 is already knocked out pretty much all the communities that ever tried. They closed their forums saying, give up, we're not doing it anymore. They have a lot more they can do, especially since the game is run on their servers. They're not independent servers like DayZ and all some of these other games out there. They're their servers, so they can monitor every little thing going on. Besides some guy that's running a server on a PC at his home, he can't watch it all day long. So it's a big difference as far as cheating goes.
Yeah.
And you got these hacker groups that they spend like weeks trying to figure out this bug, and then they finally make something to be able to exploit it. And when it gets smashed an hour later after you first started using it, after a few times, that guy will just say, screw it, I'm going to find another game I can hack. And they go over to somewhere else, and you don't have to deal with that guy anymore. And it's a rinse and repeat. You keep smashing down the hammer of God on them, and you don't have that problem anymore.
Yeah. And I think they've got some more advanced stuff. Like, I think one of the hacker groups was saying they found that their hard drive serial number was what was actually banned. So anytime they used that hard drive, even using a proxy, it would still just stop them. So yeah, no, SOE's got some pretty nice stuff going with that.
What you would have to switch your game to a whole nother hard drive just to play it.
Yep, that's right.
Wow. That's annoying.
That'd be easy for me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's
You
like
still have to uninstall it on one and reinstall it on another.
man.
Yeah, it's like click a one button and boom, I'm in another operating system. So I got that.
Yeah, Zube, that will happen. Someone's getting swarmed by a horde of zombies. Yep. Deal with the zombies that have been left behind after the person goes buck wild trying to save themselves. They'll use all their ammo. You just have to clean up afterward. Don't understand cheating. People just are motivated to ruin other people's experience or try to be number one,
Trolls.
or you
They're
know,
all trolls.
or be the person that everybody's laughing at who's running 10 times faster than everybody else, and they're just zipping through everywhere, not really causing any harm, but they're just messing things up and being silly. That's whatever the reason is,
Yes.
people want to do it. you know it's stupid. There's, just like we were saying earlier, there's much more meaningful things to I guess make cheats for than a video game. Um, so something that they brought up, and this kind of ties into what was being said there about The Walking Dead and just letting people die or whatever. Apparently, and I can see this being the case, survival games have a whole lot of RPers. One of the some of the biggest RPing communities out there, and it makes sense because it's a sandbox. Like, most of the content is the other players and your encounters with them and how you deal with them, and a lot of funny consequences come from it. I'm sure there's a lot of funny streams of like Rust and DayZ and that sort of thing, where it's just the hilarious things that happened that cause it to be so entertaining. That's kind of the point of a sandbox, is you give people the tools to make their own fun, and then they make it. By the way, what were you cheering about there, Tenma?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I just hit another threshold in Insider. Sorry.
Nice. Congrats.
I have more goodies to give out to people, man.
That's
I
awesome.
get happy over that stuff, man.
I have, Nero, what you were just saying before. I have a video that I recorded the other day, and it's a perfect example of what you're saying, how people just come up with their own entertainment. And I found this group. I was adminning, so I'm just flying around invisible. That nobody knows I'm there. And I find this group. They're all wearing Kevlar boots, Kevlar helmet, Kevlar vests, no pants, no underwear, completely naked below the belt. 5 guys, heavy machine guns, and they're chasing after this one guy like with a cloth clothing and a rock. And they finally surround him, and they start shooting at his feet and telling him to dance, and then they start singing "Kumbaya" or something, and like just crazy stuff's going on. And then all of a sudden, this guy's joining them, and I'm like, "What is going on?" So I decide to land down, and like I said, I'm invisible, so I guess sometimes I scare people. and I land down. My name's God in the game, of course. I'm the owner. Why
Yes,
wouldn't it
yes.
be? I land down. I'm like, and I go over the Viop, and I'm like, "What are you guys doing? Put on some pants!" And they all go, "God, God, 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 God," and they run under a rock cliff and all point their asses at me. My chat's saying, "Oh my God, it's so bony." I'm like, "What the hell's going on?"
That sounded like a multi-bot to me. Multi-boxing.
I don't know
It sounded
what
like-
they were.
Could be.
It sounded like multi-boxing to me. Having that many people dressed like that, and they all kind of run in unison, sort of.
They were whatever they were doing. They were just doing craziness.
Pretty ridiculous. I mean, the example they gave was No Shirts Town built next to No Pants Town, and they just constantly have wars. And that was in the keynote, so yeah, I could definitely.
It's confirmed. We can go pantsless.
Pantsless to an extent, though. Like, I don't know how much we'll actually be able to remove off the character. Like, I think when you remove the equipped T-shirt on a character or whatever, there'll probably still be like a little wife beater or whatever kind of underneath, so you can't fully strip down male or female. Likewise, I'm sure there'll be some sort of meager undergarments to make sure people's junk isn't hanging out, because SOE doesn't want to have to deal with that. It's not.
It's not realistic.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair though, it is going to have alcohol consumption, so
Woohoo!
and drunkenness. I mean, that's been a mainstay since EverQuest 1, 1999. So, they're going to continue with that. Of course, you can farm your own corn and wheat, ferment it down, and drink it up. Moonshine.
That's where Neuro's going to make his money. He's gonna do just like he does offline. He's gonna be sitting there making beer.
Maybe a little bit, yes.
Now we all know whose shack we're going to be heading to.
Oh no, it's not a shack. To actually have a farm. It requires a lot of infrastructure and a lot of people working together. For one person to have a bottle of booze, that's like the effort of 50 people. Of course, if you got 50 people, 50 people are getting a bottle of booze. So
Will work
I'm
for
gonna
beer.
go refill my glass right quick.
Sure. So we've got about another 15 minutes left here, so we're going to just kind of continue along here. The only other thing I really had to talk about was the airdrop, so we already talked about that. So my big old roll of notes here is pretty much done. Got through most of it there, plus or minus technical issues from Twitch that is now owned by Amazon. So hopefully those issues will be worked out over time. And that's Tenma's living room.
Y'all talking about me while
No,
I'm gone?
no.
How dare you?
Not you. We're talking about your place.
Okay, what's
Yeah.
up?
Talking about, all the different places the scavengers would have to go to loot the different things.
Yeah.
Look, I found a mask.
Yeah.
What is this under the bed?
Whoa.
I think zombie masks would actually be a really effective item in the game because you're not going to confuse zombies, but if you have one and you sneak up on a player and they think you're just a zombie because you just kind of walked at them with the zombie mask on for a moment and then they went around the corner, they come back around the corner thinking they're going to get you with a hatchet and you blow them away with the shotgun and laugh and be like, ha ha, you dumbass, you fell for the mask.
I just hope there's a way to quickly swap between weapons fairly quickly. That way I can run at them with a hatchet, and then they think they got me or something, and then just one button away and boom, pull out a shotgun.
That it couldn't be too fast specifically for that reason. I think there's going to be access times both to put away the item you've got equipped as well as to pull out the item that you're going to be arming yourself with. But we'll see those systems as they come along in the game and as they show us more demonstrations here. With the amount of bro comments in the H1Z1 streams, wouldn't surprise. Yeah, well, no, it was also a sausage fest because everyone had their pants off with their sausages hanging out. So, yeah, it literally is a sausage fest.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. All right, so we're taking questions for the next maybe 8 or 10 minutes here before we wrap it up here for the night. So, shoot away, folks. Anything you got? Do you guys have any particular questions or things that you don't quite understand or anything?
There's tons of trolls everywhere. You stick to the main rule: don't feed a troll.
You're better off ignoring them.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, trolls live on feedback. So if you ignore them, they'll go find someone else to bother.
Of course, there's trolls as in people who are just being jerks for the sake of being jerks, and then there's trolls who are being jerks because that's the character they're actually role-playing and they actually have some method to the madness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Either way, I don't want to bunk with the guy.
Yeah, no. I can agree with you there. Not going to disagree with that.
No other questions?
I don't know. It might still be taking a moment for people to hear that there's open question and answer, and then formulate a question, and then put it in a chat there. Also, chat might also be wigging out, and there's a bunch of people trying to talk who can't because it's having issues.
That would suck.
Yeah. Just trying to load the Twitch website I'm seeing is having a lot of issues, so it's there's definitely a high chance that there's trouble right now.
Is there some big event going on, a tournament or something?
Yeah, I'm still not seeing where I said ask your question come up on the
Yeah, I didn't
screen
see
there.
you say ask your question.
It's
Okay,
not come
so-
up yet. It's not come up on the screen yet, so I don't know what's going on. I am seeing what's being said in chat here though, so
And it seems like they're a bit behind us.
Question.
Troll just came up.
Yeah, well,
Cody just said some people try to create content by trolling. I see that on my screen,
that's
and it
true.
hasn't come up in the chat.
Yeah,
yet.
that is on
So-
my screen as well. It's about a delay or so of a minute or so delay rather for things being said and actually popping up.
When are we going to start playing? As soon as it's released, we will have a multi-stream of it. Don't worry.
Zube, I might actually play it before early access. There's a decent chance that SOE will do another event at the office, and then go down there, play it again, try to record some content, suggest survival matza, which I forgot to suggest at SOE Live. Basically, the idea is you've got water, you've got flour, you need to cook it into something. What are you going to make? A flour tortilla? Nah. Loaf of bread? Nah. You're making matza. You're making flat, dry little crackers of freaking matza.
Will it have boats? I hope there's boats. I mean, even if there's just little rowboats, it'd be cool to, get across a lake or something, go fishing. Boats would be cool.
Boats would be nice, and I think that is something they want to have at some point.
If it's realistically, you would end up like trying to do what kind of like what I saw over in Iraq. They'd make these mud brick ovens, and you would take the flour, the water, and a little bit of salt, and create what was called salt bread. And it was like a huge pita, but it did not taste like a pita. Okay, these things were awesomely good, but they were huge. They're about the size of a pizza, and you'd eat that. And
Gotcha.
it held up over time too. I mean, you could carry that around with you for a good 2 weeks, and it would still be good.
Nice. Grimslayer, are they going to make it headshots? I'm pretty sure enough damage will take out a zombie. Headshots are the most effective way, but they've said they do want to have location-specific hitboxes. If you hit them in the legs, they'll get a limp, eventually be crippled, not be able to move the same way. Being able to potentially hit them in the arms, maybe or maybe not being able to dismember them without killing them, but being able to at least make them a lot less effective. And I'm sure hits to the torso will have some other effect. Maybe it'll lower their stamina and recovery time and stuff like that. But all of those complicated systems we aren't 100% certain on. I don't know if they are. They're still probably in the process of working those things out.
Looks like Diggs just confirmed that Twitch chat is not working well.
Yeah.
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 I don't know how long he's been here, but he seemed very excited to be able to finally chat.
I can finally chat.
Played for about 4 or 5 hours at SOE Live. Yeah, Kremchek. They definitely make things seem like they're going to have boats and that sort of stuff. There certainly is spearfishing is something that they've got in the game. So bodies of water and being able to utilize them seems like something that they would want to be able to build up into. So we got about 5 more minutes here, so let's I guess start wrapping things up here and kind of talking about what all we're up to. So let's do kind of reverse order from earlier. DK, why don't you talk about what you're up to, where to find you, and what you're going to be doing here.
Well, I just started back on. Just started streaming again. Back now on Twitch. I'm still on YouTube. I have a new channel on YouTube, so that way the names match up. I play a lot of alpha games, a lot of games early access. Landmark, Rust. Any kind of random game I see that looks kind of would be like it cool on early access. Do not play The Gods Will Be Watching unless you want to pull out your hair.
Oh wow.
Uh,
Okay.
I just was. I can't even stream that game because I started cursing. But yeah, that's about all I'm doing right now. If you guys want to check me out, I'm really on my grind lately, so I'm like all day long trying to stream if I can.
Well, I guess it's my turn. I guess, right?
Yep.
So, um, of course, I am Timma underscore EQNL here on Twitch, and I'm also Doc Spetsnaz on YouTube. Just because I couldn't get Timma for some reason, and but I do tutorials mainly for Landmark, and but as soon as H1Z1 comes out, I'm going to be spending some time in there as well. Hopefully, bring some of the community in there just to bash some heads every once in a while, just to break the monotony of
Yeah.
what we normally do. But yeah, my main focus is Landmark anyway. So, but that's pretty much what I do.
Okie dokie. So yeah, people will be able to find me here, of course, for Dead Feature Rant. I also do Live Feature Rant for Landmark and EverQuest Next. I've got procedural powerhouses on Saturdays, and no more Castles and Crap Shacks. It is now Content and Creations on Sundays from 3 to 7 Pacific time. Starting tomorrow is the Combat Daily Show from noon to 2 Pacific time. And that's going to be a daily show, so tune in every day. Tomorrow, Combat goes in. I doubt it's going to be in and up and running in the morning, so it's going to be more of a question and answer sort of episode and trying to like get people ready for it and hyped. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be. I'll be surprised if it's ready the next day even, but we'll let them handle it. 'Cause they're putting so many features in. Other than that. My early show from 10 to noon Pacific time, as well as my late show from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. on weekdays, is with this group called Who's Gaming Now. You can find it on who'sgamingnow.com. It's a big old network. We play a bunch of indie games, do a bunch of giveaways, and it's a lot of fun. It's pretty cool. All sorts of new stuff, all sorts of stuff that's coming up, early access stuff. Games that have been launched that are just really, really awesome. So definitely check all that stuff out. Follow everybody that you've been seeing here. Follow us everywhere on Twitter, on Twitch, YouTube for Tenma and I, and that'll be it. So see y'all later for the next episode of Dead Feature Rant, and I am going to give you an H1Z1 enthusiast to raid here. Why don't you all go over and raid Loco2525? She's playing Counter-Strike right now, but when I first met her at SOE Live, she was wearing the exact same beanie that I was wearing, and I'm pretty sure she's probably going to be playing a lot more H1Z1 than I am, so definitely go over there, say hello, grab a bite or drink or whatever, and settle in and get in some Counter-Strike for a little bit. So that's it. We'll see you folks later. Thank you for joining me, Tenma. Thank you for joining me, DK. You were both awesome, and definitely love to have you guys on in future episodes, especially when we've actually got early access going, so we can talk about our experiences ganking each other.
All right.
Cool deal.
Thanks, guys.
See y'all later.